Hey, welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be doing a real critical review of Reframe Your Brain by Scott Adams, that Dilbert guy. So, anyways, I just finished this up this morning. It's I don't know, a pretty good book. It's about 200 or so pages to read. Takes you, you can knock it off in a weekend if you wanted to. And oh, hey, welcome to the chat, everybody. Nefarious and Dan Duval, and I think I saw I'm Rick in here too. Hey guys, yeah. So I'll save you the cash. Well, no, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but some people do books, some people don't. But I'd say probably the coolest thing about this book is that it's, I guess it kind of caters to like people's new, shorter attention spans and stuff like that. That in a way, though, it keeps you engaged. As if when you're reading this, it's almost like you're, scrolling on X or Twitter or the Facebooks or whatever they do these days, these kids. But yeah, it's kind of in little bite-sized chunks where you can just kind of read a little something and change your life. Whoa, pretty cool. Well, that's I think that's what Scott wanted to do. I call him Scott because we're buddy. I mean, I bought his book. That's about it. But anyways, yes, Mr. Adams did an okay job here, I think. And even if you don't like to read too much, at the very back, he just kind of summarized all of these little reframes. Okay, so what is a reframe? It is, it's like, okay, some people are familiar with Scott Adams, and I know some of the guys here in the chat, they kind of hang out like me in the chat of Scott Adams's Real Coffee show. And it's like he, but if you don't know anything about what is a reframe, it's kind of like, I guess you could say it's a way, just a different way of thinking about something. So I think about my awesome green marker here for my whiteboard, but I could also, instead of thinking of this as just a green marker, I can think of this as a key to unlock my creativity. So there we go. So is it a marker or is it a key to unlocking my creativity? I don't know. I think it's a marker, but yeah. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's all these little reframes. You know what? And I'll just kind of go through it a little bit by bit. And I don't know, it's one of these things. It's like whenever, well, for me anyways, whenever I get a book, I kind of regret buying the book because it's like, now I got to read it now or I waste my money. But that's but it's kind of one of those things that I've looked at a lot of I don't know, YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it generally people that do pretty well in life, they read. So it's not the worst thing in the world to do. And oh, how is see, Dan is saying here, I bumped the mic and it changed output. I don't know, you guys hearing me okay? I hope so. It should be automatically adjusting for whatever I'm doing here. Anywho, yeah, so let's go through chapter 1. Okay, and that is how to reprogram your brain. That is on page 11. How do I reprogram my brain? So that's kind of one of the themes in the book, is that it's basically, it's kind of something that Scott Adams is a trained hypnotist, so he's used to messing around with people's brains, mostly for the better, I think. And at least I hope so. But as far as the book is, if it's messing around with my brain, kind of makes sense and it's pretty good. So reprogramming your brain, number 1. So you need 3 things apparently, and 1 is optional. So focus, repetition, and some sort of emotion. fear, happiness, hate, love, passion, etc. So, yeah, it's like if you focus on something and repeat it over and over, how can that not affect your brain? When I was one of the classes I took was a second year philosophy course in when I was going to get my degree, and it was in media ethics. And this is going back a little ways, and it was done by a really interesting professor, not just somebody that just kind of drones out of a book. And ooh, actually, there was no textbook for it. We were watching like YouTube videos and all. It was a very creative class that was put together. And so one of the things there, what the professor was talking about was that it's kind of like, what is your mental environment? So it's, or how is it? Oh, mental ecology. That was it. So it's kind of like the environment. Do you live in like a real polluted environment with trash all over the ground, stuff like that, or do you live in a nice forest? And so you whatever you put into your brain, that affects how you think and what you do and everything like that. So I mean, it's pretty common knowledge. If you tell a kid, "Oh, you're stupid," and the kid eventually starts thinking he's stupid, even though he's not, and then and starts doing stupid stuff. Right? So I mean, so you don't want to be doing anything negative like that. You shouldn't even be saying stuff like that because that can affect you. I mean, everybody remembers something from when they were a kid, and maybe they didn't like this or that, but it's sticky. It sticks with you, and it affects some of your decisions, and that affects your outcomes in your life. So here we go. So I do buy into the fact that yes, your brain can be reprogrammed, but you can do it yourself. Um, and I know that from teaching people how to fly. It's like, oh, I'll never get this. Well, if you can kind of switch them over to like, oh, you're not there yet, then oh, okay. It's not like I can't land the plane. It's I can't land the plane yet, or I'm working towards it now. So, here we go. What do we got here? Oh, I'm Rick is in here saying, "Who is the author of this book and why should I start reading it now when I've never done it before today?" Well, you don't have to read it. No one's putting a gun to your head to read a book. But anyways, you could if you wanted to. Not the whole gun thing. But yeah, so first chapter starts off how to reprogram your brain. Yeah, I'd buy that. You could probably reprogram your brain. Makes sense to me. And what's number two? And then there's all these ones. So chapter two is success reframes. So yeah, I'll give you an example here. One that Scott Adams got from his mom. Okay, so it's kind of set up where they'll have the usual frame, what usually people think about things, and then the reframe is like how to change it from that. So the usual frame is like when you're a kid and stuff like that, and your kid, that's not fair, So uh, if you're thinking that life isn't fair and you go through life like that, well, it's there we go. You're going to be or things should be fair. Sorry, that's it. Like everything should be fair. That's the way it should be, but it doesn't happen that way. The reframe is life isn't fair. Okay, so and that's what his mom told him. Life ain't fair, kid. Well, that's true. But if you just accept that's the way it is, and especially you stick that into a kid's brain, fairness goes out the window, and you're not going to be chasing some ideal that just isn't going to happen. Okay, there's one. I just picked a random one there. What else we got here? How about yeah, and it kind of goes into oh, here we go. So something about creativity, right? So Scott Adams is the famous Dilbert cartoonist. Okay, the usual frame is avoid mistakes in your art. You got to be perfect as an artist. The reframe is invite mistakes into your art and keep the good ones. So there you go. If you're going to be creative, you can't just keep doing the same thing. I got to be perfect. You got to throw some paint on the wall and see if it looks like a cloud, I guess. And oh, Rick's Garden is here too. And hey, Dan. Okay. Actually, Dan, you were in here before. Oh well, I don't want to miss anybody, but Anyways, okay, so that was those were the success reframes. And yeah, there's a few more of those ones. And like I said too, there was in the back. See if I can show you just to make sure I'm not lying to you. We're going to look at the list for success reframes. Here we go. So, so this is like this page here, just the reframes and success reframes. That's right at the very bottom. So, yeah, there was that. What else we got that's interesting in here? Yeah, and so like it's not really any. I don't know. It's not like a big long novel or something where you got to follow a storyline or anything like that. It's, I guess you could call it kind of the self-help book, although you're helping yourself anyways by reading it. But yeah, and like I said, it was based little bite-sized chunks. So you know what? I have a feeling this is going to end up in someone's bathroom. You know, they'll be like, just make yourself. You get yourself, I don't know, some kind of Purell coated bookmark or something, and leave it in there. And you know, once or twice a day, if you're lucky, you can go in and just read a little chunk and just, oh, okay, that's something to think about. Now, yeah, so we got that. What else we got? I don't know if I rhymed them all off. Okay, so there's the success reframes, mental health reframes. I don't need that. I'm fine. Social life reframes, physical health reframes, reality reframes, the operating system for your mind, how to make your own reframes, and then just the reframes. So, yeah, for me, I could see this could be a helpful book for probably somebody more, I would say, a little bit younger, and I think that's kind of what he was thinking about when he wrote it, was kind of to help out younger people. Scott Adams is 65 years old as of today, I think, and so you can kind of see it's a like the old man giving the wisdom to the next generation or something like that. And yeah, and oh, it says I'm Rick is asking, does it have any Dilbert cartoons squeezed between the reframes? As a matter of fact, it does. Here we go. Oh, there's one right there. All right, can you see that? We got a Dilbert. It's hard to read, but with the camera. But yeah, it's kind of they got little Dilbert comics kind of stuck in here, littered in there. There's a couple pictures in here too. Oh, I thought this was kind of a cool picture that he stuck in here. Was, spoiler alert. So he was part of the time when he was writing this book. Like, I remember he was doing a his live stream, and from a mystery location when he was writing. It turns out he was in Hawaii, and then he actually took a picture of where he was writing in Hawaii. So there we go, little computer on a table looking out of the ocean. Pretty slick, pretty slick. Looks like he uses a Mac. Okay, kind of suspected as much. Artsy type. Okay, and yeah, there was that. All right, we're gonna see right at the beginning. He gets you with his picture of his dog Snickers. I already showed that one to you. I think there's Snickers sniffing a tree, smelling all kinds of good stuff that go on trees. The dogs put on trees. Yeah, he doesn't have a reframe about like sniffing trees, but he actually does have a reframe about that, because the dog doesn't, he wants to go for a walk and get some exercise, and the dog just wants to hang around and sniff. So the usual frame is when the dog's sitting there sniffing. The usual frame was, I have nothing to do. I'm just standing here. That sucks. So especially if you're like a go-getter like Scott Adams. I got no problem standing around. I'm okay with being bored. And then the reframe is perfect time to practice proper breathing and posture. And then he kind of went into like, next time you're standing in line, you're all pissed off about, oh man, this is taking so long. Give you a chance to work on the posture and proper breathing technique. And then you get the habit of that. And that's helpful. That's cool. Yeah, so there's all these little, helpful tips and tricks in here, different ways of thinking about things. Um, you know, I would say if I guess I probably could have used this book. I don't know, maybe a few more years ago, maybe in my 20s or something like that. But like now I'm reading it, it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny because like right now my life's pretty good, so it took a lot of effort to get here, but it's like, yeah, okay, oh yeah, you kind of go through as a guy my age. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, kind of, what's that? Preaching to the converted, I guess here. But there's a few other things in there that were like, oh, that's food for thought. I'd have to pay attention to that if I one day that could be helpful for me. And then there's a couple others in here that just don't apply at all. And he does mention that too, that you're going to have some reframes in here that it's like, okay, that doesn't work. that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. But that's okay if you're reading the book. He gives himself an out on that one and says like, yeah, I mean, you can't use every single one of these for every single person because people are different. Just like I guess apparently, according to the book, he's like, Scott Adams was a lifetime gym rat, so he's always going to the gym. Me, I never go to the gym. Just whatever. I mean, I'll stay relatively healthy doing other stuff, but I'm not going to the gym. Like, forget it. But I mean, some people like it, and nothing bad about going to the gym. It's just not my thing. So, what else do we got in here? So that doesn't work for me. Oh, another thing too is that like Scott Adams is like a total workaholic, right? So he just works all the time, and so I'm not like that at all. So okay, that reframe that doesn't work for me. I enjoy my doing nothing time. Meh. I find it valuable. Oh, and hey, good book, I see you here too. Yeah, so there we go. Is this book worth buying? Let me see. How much is it? What? And that's one of the things too. You think if you got a book, it's like, is it worth buying? I think I mentioned that before. I would say, yeah. The for the paperback here, soft cover. Yeah, sure, $20 can't hurt. So if you're starving or something, I don't know if it would be. I'd probably buy some food rather than $20 on this. But if you're not starving, you're kind of getting by. This could probably get you up. It'll get you up over the hump there. Oh yeah, another thing too I wanted to mention about here is that I could tell when I was reading in there. Actually, it was kind of cool. Side note was that the Joshua Lysek was the editor of this book, and I did a review on "So Good They Call You a Fake." That was a book by Joshua Lysek, and so I could see like Joshua's a few little things pop into here, and it was just like, oh yeah, Joshua put that one in there. Oh, there he is. So it's kind of neat to see that if you're familiar with any of Joshua Lysek's stuff. Yeah, he's in here a little bit, little influence there. So it's kind of fun to read it with that knowledge. What else we got here that was cool? Okay, what was I gonna say? I hate that one. Oh yeah, and then I got off topic and totally forgot. What was that I was gonna say? Something about. Oh well, it's gone. Guess it wasn't that important. It's hard to do that sometimes. You get off track here, but in any case, $20 worth it. Yeah, you want to change your life for $20? Sure, why not? And can't. Oh, that was it. Now I got it. Was that the this is if you've ever checked out Scott Adams's he's you do like a Google search for recommended reads, like Scott Adams recommended reads or something like that. So he has a bunch. He's got a list that he made. I don't know. It's somewhere on the interwebs that this is a good book to read. So like How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's a lot of that in here. Um, the Power of Habit. What else was there? There was some other books there that like I read some of those books, and because he suggested them on the internet somewhere, and then I could see, oh yeah, that's from The Power of Habit. Oh yeah, that's Dale Carnegie course. Like okay, but the thing is, all those things put together, it's all at one-stop shopping. So I would say, probably if you were thinking about going through and knocking off all the required readings or not required recommended readings for that Scott Adams list, I think you could save a lot of money and just get this one here. It's all kind of condensed in, and it gets condensed even more into all these little reframes at the back, just a list. So I think that could be a big money saver if you don't want. I would say if you're going to read, like this should be number one on his recommended reading list, and then don't have to buy the other ones because yeah, he took the best parts out of those, kept them, put them in his life, and put them in a book. So anyways, I'd say Reframe Your Brain, worth $20. Definitely, I'm glad I read it. Yeah, I would recommend that. And like I said, sometimes some things will stick, sometimes they won't, and that's okay. So there we go. That's about it. Buy it. Like and subscribe. Buy now. Sponsored by. No, I'm not sponsored at all by this, but I don't know. What the heck? I needed something to talk about today, and I just finished the book, so that's it. Okay, what do we got here? I was kind of knocking off the questions in the chat before, like as we were going along, which you're probably not supposed to do, but whatever. What do we got here? Any real questions? Yeah, Rick's Garden is here too, and there's I'm Rick. We got Ricks all over the place here. Various Ricks. Okay, what do we got here? Look at this. Okay, Gafuk has got. Okay, we got to get this up here. This is primo barbecue advice because I did. My last video was on how to do a barbecue. So let's see what Gafuk is talking about here. Okay, got a barbecue recipe for you in superpilotish. Start with 3 cedar stumps. Okay, 12 Douglas fir stumps. Add 24 alder stumps. Mix 3 gallons diesel, 1 gallon gasoline. Mix in 5-gallon steel bucket. Okay. Then we have to add styrofoam as needed to make sticky and call neighbor to bring beer and smoked salmon. All right. That sounds like a pretty good barbecue idea there, Gafuk. Thanks. And yeah, a great way to start a fire. I'd probably throw a match at it or something like that. Sounds like it would go up pretty good. But yeah, there we go. Good old campfires. I'm going to be going camping another few weeks, so that's looking forward to that. And I don't know. I think I might even do like a special live from the campsite or something like that. Maybe like a special Saturday show. Maybe, who knows. Okay, and that is about it for today. Critical review, good book. Reframe Your Brain by Scott Adams. $20 to change your life. Hey, why not? And yeah, that's about it. I guess we're gonna shut down here. Wait, today's okay, Monday, Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, all you laborers and former laborers and people that don't like the labor, people that are workaholics that love to labor. And yeah, so that's it. Monday, so I'll be back on Wednesday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. We'll just kind of shut her down here. Thank you for watching. Bye.